My name is Nick Howe. I am a private investigator in the UK. I specialise in surveillance and evidence gathering. This video is to demonstrate an iPhone application I have developed that will replace the need for the notepad and pen whilst on a surveillance job. The application is called P.I.Report. Let's create a surveillance log. Here I've already entered the investigation title and the client reference. Okay, so I've just arrived at a job, let's say. I'm going to put in an observation. I'm going to call it arrival. I can enter some details here of my observations on arrival. I have arrived at my destination. The property looks vacant. There is a car on next door's driveway. Full stop. Perhaps I will make inquiries there a little later. Full stop. Okay, that has saved that entry, but more importantly, it immediately puts a time and date stamp on that entry. Let's put in my name as the report author. Summary and recommendations we'll fill in a little bit later. These details across the top, these buttons allow the user to enter different observations. So let's say we'll record that vehicle that is on next door's driveway. License plate or registration number. We'll just put one in. Let's put vehicle details, and that's recorded. Let's add a note in. Again, immediately it puts in the time and date stamp. I will give this surveillance job 2 hours and then knock on the neighbour's door if I have not seen our subject person. And that's recorded. Let's put in a location. Okay, so that's just dropped in my current location. As you can see, what I'm trying to get across here is it is building up a timeline, which is very important in our job. Let's add an observation. Let's say subject person seen. I have just seen our subject person at the front door. They may be looking to leave the property shortly. And that's recorded. So perhaps I need to send our client an update. So the top button here brings me into an interim report screen. I can enter observations seen, any planned actions I may have, any questions for the client. Once I've filled that in, I can either send by text or I can send the client an email. These interim reports can be sent to the client as often as you wish. Back to the report. At any point, I can switch out of the app and say want to video something. I can switch back into the app and no information is lost. That also goes for deleting the app from the background. Everything is still in place. There's even a point where it will tell you at the bottom here that you have an open report. It's important to note at this point that any information that you record on your device only stays with your device. There is no external database that collects any information that you put into your reports. It is all down for your information only. So I can continue to add observations, any vehicles, notes. They will all come into play and form this timeline. This one, I can add a contact. Let's say name unknown. Location, let's say it's our neighbour. And we can type in or dictate, I spoke to the neighbour and they did not know who lives next door. They said they only moved in 2 weeks ago. Again, that's recorded that information for us in our timeline. Let's look at how we export that information. Okay, let's say we've finished. Top right gives you the options to export. We can save or share the report. Various apps that are on my phone, I can pop it into notes. I generally save to file, which is my iCloud drive, and I'll add that to the iCloud drive. Another option here is to email a screenshot of the report. That will email a timeline of our entries as an image file. So that's an image file. The best one to use I've found is email report as a CSV file. Okay, that will attach any location images that we've taken during the investigation. I'm simply going to email that to myself. The last option on this menu is to delete and reset. Obviously only when I've exported that report do I want to delete it, ready for the next report. Back to the home page. Email function here. This is simply to send me, the developer, an email with details on how you're getting on with the application and potentially any new features you may like to see in future updates. Surveillance guide just gives some information on surveillance, and user guide will have some videos of how to use the application. Other uses for this application . This day and age, it is very natural to be on your mobile phone. Therefore, using the application in coffee shops, on foot follows, in cars, you do not draw attention to yourself.